Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs, and today I'm going to do a video of my top 5 goalkeepers in the league based on my opinion basically. I'm going to do left backs, right backs, centre midfielders, wingers and strikers as well. For example, Gary Rogers probably won't be in this list because at this minute in time he's not in the top 5 best goalkeepers in the country, but if you'd done it from the last number of years you probably would have him in the top 5, but it's my opinion as we speak currently. So let's get into it straight away. Now, number 5, I've gone for Brendan Clarke of St Patrick's Athletic. Now, Brendan is 34 years of age. The Dubliner played brilliantly for St Patrick's Athletic last year. In fact, I think he was voted player of the season, or certainly fans player of the season last year. There was question marks about him at the start of this season in regards that Pats has signed Conor Kearns from UCD, 22-year-old goalkeeper, who was part of the under-21 squad, and he was in the Toulon tournament last year. Kelleher and Bazuna, the only 2 goalkeepers ahead of him. They also Brian Maher, St Pat's, an underage goalkeeper for Ireland as well. He's a bit small, but he's a good goalkeeper. And he's gone on loan to Bray Wanderers. And a lot of the reason for that is that Brendan Clarke has forced his way into the Pats team. Everyone thought Conor Kearns to be number 1 going into the season, but Clarke obviously has done something in training, knuckled down, I'd say shown a bit of leadership as well, and has actually kept his place in the St Patrick's Athletic team. He deserves great credit for that, where others have left the club. Clarke remains at the club and is the number 1 keeper, and I believe he's the 5th best goalkeeper in the league currently. Number 4 is a new goalkeeper to the league, and that's Brian Murphy. The Waterford native has never played for Waterford FC until he signed this season. He was away in England for a good while, or should I say Wales. Cardiff was his last club where he spent 4 years at, but in the English leagues he's been basing himself. Played with Portsmouth before that as well. Was at Bohemians a number of years ago, and I believe he won a league title at Bohemians as well. He's now 36 years of age. He's come into the league with a reputation, and he's lived up to that reputation so far this season, making some outstanding saves in matches to get Waterford the points. And he's a real leader. He's got real leadership skills as well, and he's been a great asset to Waterford FC this season. We'll see more of him hopefully later on when the season starts again, and he might even, by the end of the season, he might even be higher in this list, who knows. But great sign from Waterford, and the fact that he's come back to his hometown club is great to see again. He's played for a lot of clubs, but this is the first time he's had his hometown club Waterford. So Brian Murphy in at number 4. Well, so far in this list we've had 2 very experienced goalkeepers at the wrong side of 30. You often have that with goalkeepers, that their best years are after 30 years of age. But this is a goalkeeper that should be kept an eye on. And for me, I'm going to stick him in at number 3 in the list. And that's Ed McGinty of Sligo Rovers. Very, very young goalkeeper, only 20 years of age. Broke through at Sligo last season at the age of 19. Played very, very well. Acrobatic. Good goalkeeper, good with his feet. And at only 20, you can think he's only going to get better. Born in Motherwell in Scotland, so he is. But he has spent the last 4 years with Sligo Rovers, and he's come up through the youth academy there. And as I said, last year was his breakthrough season where he was outstanding. He started this season quite well as well, despite Sligo not starting very well. McGinty has still got some plaudits this season, and you know, a couple of seasons back to back, and who knows, McGinty might be a player that might travel to England or Scotland for that matter actually, and move on with his career, because he's got outstanding potential. He's very good now, but the potential is there to be seen as well, and Ed McGinty can only get better, and he comes in at number 3 on this list. Now, despite getting injured in the opening day of the season against Shamrock Rovers, James Talbot comes in at number 2 for me. The interesting thing about the Rovers game is that I don't think anybody knew he was injured. There was no indication during the match, but obviously he's been injured, and he's been injured since. He hasn't played for Bohemians since. This break probably helped him actually. But the 22-year-old, he's surprisingly he's only 5'8". You would think he's taller actually, because he tends to come out for crosses and things like that, and is fairly commanding, certainly very vocal to the Bohemians defence. Last season he was outstanding, Bohemians had lost Shane Supple, very experienced goalkeeper. Had played with Dublin senior squad, featured for them as well, the GA squad. And I think Bohemians fans are questioning, how are they going to replace him? But Talbot's come in from Sunderland, and last season he was outstanding, arguably the best goalkeeper in the league, very, very close, certainly up there with somebody else. He's only 22. He's obviously came in from Sunderland. He capped for Ireland at under 17, under 19 level as well. His highlight last season has to be that save from Chris Forrester against St Patrick's Athletic at Richmond Park, 0-0. If you haven't seen the save, I don't know, just look it up on YouTube. Chris Forrester versus Bohemians, Talbot save versus St Pat's, whatever, you'll find it. Outstanding save. I mean, to get up to that top corner, and as I said, he's 5'8". He's not the biggest in the world, although he appears to be bigger. It's an outstanding save, and he was outstanding last season. He does have a tendency sometimes to lack concentration, I think, though. I will say that, which probably stops him from being number one on the list for me. Sometimes he's a little bit erratic in his concentration, and he can lose his concentration a little bit. But all in all, for a new player to the league last season, to have the season he had was fantastic. And McGuinness is a very good goalkeeper as well for Bohs, by the way, but you'd think that if he get back from injury, he'd probably get his place back. So for me, James Talbot, number 2. Now for me, at number 1, it could only be one man, and that's the 37-year-old Alan MANNUS from Shamrock Rovers. The Northern Ireland Internationals played 9 times for Northern Ireland. Interestingly enough, he was born in Toronto, Canada. I'm not sure if a lot of people know that, but this is his second spell with Shamrock Rovers. He was part of the squad that won the league under O'Neill. He went on to St Johnstone for a couple of years and came back to Shamrock Rovers. And look, in terms of the League of Ireland, it's hard to find a weakness with him. He's very vocal. He's very good on the floor. Very good passer of the ball. Works well with his defence in that regard. He's commanding. He's a good shot stopper, good agility for 37-year-old especially as well. But I think the main reason why I have him number 1, he's simply best all-rounder, I think, in the league. And he makes less mistakes than any other goalkeeper that I've seen. You don't see many mistakes from Alan MANNUS. And he usually takes a lot to beat him. Even in the open day season against Bowls, he made a superb save from a Keith Ward free kick. Showing his agility, actually, but he's just all round very good, and he appears to be a very good leader in his Shamrock Rovers team as well, and a team full of leaders. But he has it all in terms of, you don't see at this level a weakness in his game compared to other goalkeepers in the league. Commanding presence, as I said before, he's vocal, very good all round. So that's it, I think, guys. Alan MANNUS number 1 at this minute in time. It'd be interesting to see, actually, hopefully whenever the season gets started again, if I was to do this at the end of the season again, a top 5 goalkeepers in the league, my top 5 left backs, right backs, etc., in the league, how many would I have changed my mind much by the end of the season? I think that's one interesting thing about doing this video as well, because I might come back at the end of the season and look at it and see if my opinion is the same. But what's your opinion, guys? Is there anyone I left out that you feel is a little underrated, or maybe could force their way into this list by the end of the season? What's your opinion on the order, etc., etc.? And I think that's about it. If you're new around here, please subscribe. We've no football at the moment, but I'm still doing videos. So that's about it, guys. See you later, and stay safe. Good luck.